We are back with another What's New in Salem. We have a handful, actually a pretty good handful of new businesses in Salem that we're going to talk about today. So we are just going to go down the list and see what's new.
The list.
What's going
dun,
on.
dun, dun.
Yes, it's a pretty good list today.
You know, it's fun, though, driving around Salem and new things happening. I mean, I see new buildings downtown. There's always something going on, it seems like, for the last 3 years. So exciting things are here in Oregon. I know we always get a bad rep on CNN or Fox News when the riots are going on downtown Portland, but those aren't really happening. There's a lot of good things happening in Oregon, and is what I have to say is I'm excited for the new season Oregon is going through and into when it comes to real estate development and business ownership.
Yeah, there is a lot of new businesses popping up all over pretty much every side of town, in Salem at least, where we're at. So before we get into it though, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Mariah.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are a top producing husband and wife real estate team here in Oregon. And we get calls, texts, and emails from people like you who are watching our videos and are thinking about relocating to Oregon all of the time. And we love it. So if that's you, feel free to reach out. We would absolutely love to help you with your real estate needs.
Absolutely.
Here in Salem or anywhere in the surrounding areas.
Let me give a quick little testimony, though, to somebody that is coming here and moving from out of state, and that we actually just closed on their home for.
Go ahead.
And this was a scenario I thought was really cool because originally they came in with a budget and their expectations based as off of where they currently live. They get here in Oregon. They actually flew in. Sometimes we purchase homes for people and they never even come here. But in this instance, they flew in. We showed about 11 homes in one day. We finally closed on the perfect home for them. They co-signed for their son to live in it while attending Willamette University. And this is big because they understand the value of real estate. Yes, the son is going to live there, and I believe the sister is going to live there. They purchased a 3-bedroom townhouse, and there's this 1-bedroom on the first level behind the garage area, and they're going to be renting that out and making an extra income, basically paying over half of their mortgage.
Nice.
They heard of us through this YouTube channel. They reached out to us. They emailed Mariah or texted one of us. In the description below, you'll find some type of contact information.
Or email.
But they said, hey, this is what we're looking at doing. We want to be in Oregon by this time frame. Can you help us? Oh, yeah, and by the way, this was the day before they flew out because no other realtor would get back to them.
Yeah.
If that's something that you think you might be heading into and wanting to do in this next season, reach out to us. This is what we do. We are known for this at Vettrus Crawford Realty, handling all the real estate transactions and your needs for you to be out of state and then comfortably and confidently close on your real estate transaction here in Oregon.
Yeah, it's true. It is pretty cool getting to see how the variety of different people moving to our area, but also the different reasons. You know, there's so many people moving here for so many various different reasons, whether it is to, for like your reason here, for a job transfer, family, for just the outdoors. We literally have people moving here. We hear that quite often, actually. They're moving here for the outdoor recreation activity. Like the weather. Believe it or not, people move here for the weather. Like it is crazy, and it's cool seeing where, the different places that they're moving from because, everyone seems to think people are moving to Oregon, they're coming just from California. A lot of people are coming from California, but they're coming from all over. Like more expensive places, less expensive places, like all over. So anyway, what's new in Salem? Okay, so first off, you may be wondering, you may have been wondering, you may not know this. What is going in at the old Izzy's buffet behind Lancaster?
I'm wondering.
Were you
I have
wondering?
no idea.
Okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
I'm about to tell you.
Northeast Salem.
Well, it is being renovated into a veterinary clinic, according to city permit records. So now you know.
Okay. I used to have a cat.
That coming.
I used to have a cat, and what do you do when crisis comes? You know that when you start looking on Google and finding how many actual veterinary clinics are available to you. I believe on that side of town, there really could need to be another one. And that building is a great building for that.
It's true.
And if you have dogs, cats, I'm sure you can do other services through that clinic as well. So that'll be good for the Lancaster northeast side of town.
Yeah.
It's definitely more northern Lancaster Drive, and great suitable property for that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Back when we had our cat, our poor little kitty, I just hear meowing from the other room, and she had her paw, or what was it? She completely
she
got
wrapped herself up in a
herself
blanket.
stuck. No, it was inside a swimsuit cover up that was inside a suitcase in the closet, and
With
she
a blanket. There was, like,
in a
3
blanket, and
things
she
in table.
somehow got her claw and her nails like completely stuck in it, and so she had to go to the vet. Like, it was not coming out. It was so sad. Poor kitty.
She pissed on herself.
She did. Yeah, she did.
I remember that. That was
I
gross.
mean, I would too if my hand was all stuck and
my
can't get it out.
gosh.
Okay, so the next thing that's new in Salem, we have, we haven't been here yet. It is a new food cart station, food cart area.
Like area?
But it's in
total? Wow.
West Salem.
Okay.
There wasn't
Spit it.
previously
What's the
a lot
name
of
of
food
it?
carts there. All right, it's called Checkpoint 221. 14 food carts are there.
Where do they come up with these names?
I know.
Checkpoint 221.
I know, like, what does the 221 stand for? Like,
Hey, I love it because
sounds cool,
I
but-
think something like that is needed in West Salem.
Yes.
When I travel over the bridge, do showings, go to Dallas, whatever it may be, I always feel myself finding and wanting more eateries in food places. You have the general 5 locations you go to in West Salem. I think that's a great thing for West Salem.
Yeah, 14
grab and go food is very
14
important to
new
me.
restaurants too, all at once. And I heard from a friend was telling me, oh, which one was it? I think it was like Russian food or something like that. And
That's
it was
gonna be great.
handmade noodles, or I don't know, maybe I have it wrong. But there was some cart had handmade noodles, and apparently they were really good. All right. Next, we have a drive-through only Chick-Fil-A coming to Woodburn. Chick-Fil-A is planning to build its first drive-through and walk-up only location in Oregon, just off Interstate 5 in Woodburn.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, there's 2 of them now. There's one in Kaiser, one here in Salem off of Kubler Boulevard, which, I love it. It's a great place to be. I don't eat there that often, but when I do, I enjoy a good chicken sandwich and their quality products.
Yeah, it's nice having one so close, for sure. Except the Kaiser one, I just never go there. Okay, next we have another new restaurant coming up here. So you know where the building on Commercial Street, it was Rock and Rogers for many years,
Yes.
and then it was empty for a minute, and
Great
now
location.
Great location. Now it's gonna be Chopsticks and Noodles.
Chopsticks and Noodles. Okay,
So,
that's a hit.
we'll have to try it.
I'm
We'll have to
assuming
try
they'll have Fubbles or some
Yeah.
type of Chinese or,
Yeah. Ramen, something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know exactly.
Great. I think I'm curious what they've done to the inside of it, because what it was a Rock and Rogers, and that was an old American diner style food.
Yeah.
Completely different atmosphere based off of the business name. So I'm going to have to go check out that building, see what materials. I always love going into a newly remodeled location or newly developed location just to get inspiration, ideas as to the texturing on the walls, the lighting, the fixtures, and just ultimately the ambiance. The ambiance, is that a word?
Ambiance.
Ambiance of the atmosphere, because I really feel like that's missing in a lot of places, especially the franchise food chains type stuff. So whenever we can get local business owners filling these voids that we've had, Rock and Rogers, that thing went out of business, or they closed down maybe quite a long time ago. Yeah. So I'm excited for that location. That'll be great. And we'll have to go there on a lunch date.
I'm glad something's going into that building. Okay, so next, I apologize in advance if I say this wrong, because I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced, but Avelo Airlines. Non-stop flights from Salem to Vegas, and I believe Los Angeles as well. So ultra low cost Avelo Airlines just announced its introduction of its not exclusive non-stop service from Oregon's Salem area to 2 highly in-demand destinations, Los Angeles and Las Vegas. They will operate twice weekly, non-stop service between Salem and the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, with flights scheduled on Thursdays and Sundays starting October 5th, 2023. On October 6th, the airline will launch its twice weekly non-stop service between Salem and Los Angeles, with flights being initially offered on Mondays and Fridays. The latter route will afterwards be adjusted to run on Thursdays and Sundays beginning November 2nd. Both routes will be flown using Boeing Next Generation 737 aircraft. So, yeah.
I love this. And me being a Salemite, I just get a catch an Uber ride and go to the Salem airport. I'm very curious how the checkout and check-in process is at that airport. I've never been. I just know that's part of the Air Force, not the Air Force, but there's a military base type of setting there as well. National Guard is location near it. And that is going to be awesome. What I have already done is I've downloaded their app just to check out prices and see, because we were interested in possibly going to LA sometime in March, but the prices was this. It was like $49. Yeah, it was $49 a head to catch a ride, and that was round trip, I believe. I think No, at the end of the day, it was there $49 and then back $49. But if you break it down, it was like $220 something bucks at the end of the day with taxes and fees involved, and that's a really good price.
But forget about the prices though. Even if it wasn't a good price, just the fact that here in Salem, I mean, there are so many people that live in Salem and the surrounding towns that are a lot closer, or where it's a lot closer and more convenient for them to drive to Salem. There's a lot of towns where it's it's further out of the way to drive to Portland.
Yeah, so and you don't have to park your car in an overnight stay that charges you, $30 a night. You don't have to drive to Portland. It takes an hour and a half sometimes with traffic. It's just going to be so convenient for people that live here in the valley. If you frequent those two destinations, I mean, man, you might want to book your trip in advance, because I have a suspicion they're going to be busy, packed and full.
I know.
Yeah, something we're not good at.
I know. Okay, so we mentioned this on a recent video sharing. I don't remember what one it was. Maybe pros and cons of moving to Oregon versus Washington. Okay, because we've had clients before who were like, "We're moving. We don't know exactly where we're moving to. We're considering Oregon. We're considering Washington." A lot of similarities, but one of the things that obviously are different is the fact that in Oregon we do not pump our own gas. However, Oregonians can now pump their own gas if they want to. Yeah. They don't have to.
Yeah. So. Which is kind of awkward though, because I've driven into the gas station and the attendant wasn't sure to come up to me or if I'm getting out of my car and pumping my gas. So there's definitely this expectation point of communicating with the attendant. But generally I only get gas in one location, and they service pretty well for their customers.
Next is the new business coming here. We've got a Popeyes coming in on Commercial Street. Which?
Can I share the Popeye story?
What's the Popeye story?
You've never heard the Popeye story? You've had to have heard this.
No.
So growing up,
oh my God,
McDonald's is a thing, obviously. Get your Happy Meals, whatever. I never got Happy Meals. I was stuck to the dollar menu. I was stuck to a rodeo burger if it's Burger King. The cheapest item on the list, and by the way, I never got the soda. It was only water, because that was free as well. So just consider Popeyes out of the question of places to go for our family to frequent when we wanted to get something fast and quick. Well, in my adulthood, my brother texts me and he says, "Dude, you have got to try Popeyes." I said, "What do you mean? I don't, I wasn't familiar with it. I never really cared. Never even crossed my mind to stop in at Popeyes, just because I never knew about it." You
always just drove by it and never...
He says, "Dude, get that chicken sandwich." And he's like, "I know it's a little bit more expensive, but it's the best chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life." I'm like, "What do you mean? It's a chicken sandwich. It can't be that crazy." What do you know? 3 days later, I go to Popeyes. I tried the classic chicken sandwich. I don't like spicy things. It is what it is. Turns out this is the best chicken sandwich I have personally gotten. Yes, it might have some additives in it. Yes, it might have some other things. I have no idea what it means, but it tastes good. So being an American, Popeyes is on the list for me to frequent every now and then on the occasion. Not every week,
Thankfully,
not every day, not every month.
As much as you used to.
But I do love a chicken sandwich. That is amazing that there's going to be a new Popeyes on Commercial Street.
On Commercial Street.
Could be more dangerous for me.
I'm going to stick with the Chick-Fil-A.
Their buildings are cool, though. To bring a Louisiana style here in the great Pacific Northwest, I think it's fun.
I'm sure.
I think it's definitely a fun theme.
It'll do good. Okay, so last but not least, this is not new, but it's kind of interesting. So USA Today analyzed 23.2 million Google reviews, of the 500 most popular tourist attractions in the world. And our local owned Voodoo Doughnuts lands on top of the top 100
I wonder
tourist
how
traps.
they did that.
Top 100 out of
Tourist
all these
traps.
500 most popular tourist attractions in the world.
Okay.
On USA Today. That's kind of cool. So that's obviously not in Salem. It's in Portland. There's a couple locations, and there's one in, at least one. There might be a few in Eugene.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have them in
it's one of those exciting things. If you're near one,
Yeah.
a block away from one, 2 blocks away from one, if you're in that Portland area, just go try it. Go try it out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drive 2 hours to get to one, but if I'm definitely passing near or by one, maybe try it if you've never done it before. Voodoo Doughnuts definitely has a great donut.
Yeah.
Yes, they're going to be more expensive. They were just labeled as a tourist attraction. I'm sure
Yeah.
when you guys travel, you know where the tourism areas are.
Yeah.
Things tend to cost a little bit more.
Yeah.
Definitely a good donut, though.
And it's not something new here in Salem, but just thought that was, something local.
We
something
made the
interesting.
list, baby.
Yes.
We
Okay.
made it.
So thank you guys for hanging out with us this week. We come on here every single week and talk all about living in, moving to, and real estate here in Oregon. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. And again, if you are thinking about relocating to or buying or selling real estate in Oregon, feel free to contact us. We would love to help you, and we'll see you next week.